Welcome to Voice of the Valley. I'm Emmy Moore Minister, and we're on location at the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. We'll be talking to PGA Tour professionals, club professionals, golf course superintendents, and people who are doing things to improve the quality of life for others through the game of golf. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Voice of the Valley right after this break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to the support of the leading golf organizations, the First Tee has helped more than 1 million kids learn lasting values through the game of golf.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get involved today and support the First Tee. It's more than a game.
This event brings together tour pros, amateurs, and plenty of celebrities. So let's catch up with some of them right now. Your thoughts about the event here?
Oh, I love it. I've been lucky enough to be part of this as a broadcaster in one way or another since the late 70s. For years we had a talk show down here on KGO where Phil Harris was my co-host, and we had every celebrity you could possibly imagine come over and visit. So this is a part of my life. I think this is the greatest event in golf.
Your thoughts about how this game gives back to community?
I like that. I'm glad you asked me that because this is a great event for a lot of reasons. It's a lot of fun and a lot of fun to watch. But as you mentioned, we raise a lot of charity here, and a combination of things. People, the amateurs pay good money to play in this deal. The celebrities volunteer their time. We do a couple shows. We have a huge program of volunteerism here. All the volunteers who we do the show for on Wednesday night, without whom the tournament could not exist. And some great companies who are not being bailed out, by the way, who help underwrite all this. And charity really is the big winner. So this doesn't cost the taxpayers anything, lest we feel guilty on a beautiful day like this. But it's a great tournament for a lot of reasons.
You gentlemen have been big supporters of golf, and of course this event does ring home, I would suspect, for you, Mr. Mills, because it was a few years ago, if I do recall, you competed in this event.
I've gotten to play in it, caddy in it, volunteer for it, and basically fall down at it, so it's been a lot of fun.
And as for you, you've covered it from a media standpoint.
I have, and talked to the celebrities over the years, talked to the players, and seen them come through the ranks. So it's really been fun for not only golf, for myself as a journalist, but absolutely great for golf in Northern California.
Well, they say golf is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to always be a serious sport. And we know the folks that are here, the tour players, this is how they make their living. Club pros like yourself support people in the game.
Well, the pros that come to play in this event understand that there's going to be a little bit of chicanery going on, and they expect it. And it wouldn't be the Crosby without it.
And I know you still call it the Crosby. It is the AT&T, but that brings back some good memories for some folks, doesn't it?
It does, and Ted and I on our show, The Golf Guys, on AM 970, ESPN Radio, we call it the Crosby, and we still call the LA Open the Glenn Campbell, for crying out loud. So that's how old school we get sometimes.
But that's the thing about golf. Golf has so much nostalgia. It's all about tradition, and of course you go back. I mean, who introduced you to the game?
Lyle Werman.
Lyle Werman.
I think he's been in the PGA for 60 years, longer than I've been alive, and it's been, a thrill. And the thing about the celebrity involvement with golf, which has always occurred, was in those days they needed those guys to support the game to be able to have a purse to play for. Now in the day of media events and courtesy cars and daycare and the free lunch, literally, sometimes the celebs get overlooked for the contribution that they've made.
And of course, a lot of money is raised at events like this. But you know what? Golf is about being accessible, too. You've been involved with the First Tee. You've been teaching the game for years.
Yeah, the First Tee is a great organization that Tiger Woods' dad started about 10 years ago. The national chairman is Joe Louis Barrow, who is the son of the great prize fighter Joe Louis. And the thing you have to understand about the First Tee is it teaches life skills. What we do in the First Tee is we are life coaches that teach those life skills through the game of golf. And it's extremely rewarding, and I work through a local chapter in the San Joaquin Valley here in California. I get to network with people all over the country and all over the world about it, and it's very, very interesting and rewarding.
So you're one of the lucky fellows that gets to participate in this event.
Yes, very lucky. This is one of the greatest weeks of the year.
Now, today's practice round day, so have you teed it up out here already?
Oh yeah, I just got done, played Pebble, and just trying to get some rhythm, and hit a few good shots.
Well, being president of the NCGA, I was going to say, do you have much time to play golf? Because I know you keep pretty darn busy. I saw at the golf party dinner last night.
Don't have. It's like a lot of people in the golf business. You're in the business, but it doesn't mean you play. So, but I hit the ball all right.
But you love the game.
I do. I love the game. I love what it means. I love, one of the greatest stories that I ever have when people ask me what's one of the great things that happened at the AT&T in 2002. I was playing with a pro named Rick Leibovich, who's a local pro. He had qualified to play in the tournament, and we came down to Saturday. We're playing in the celebrity rotation. Rick has a chance of making the cut. We go to the second hole, which was the 11th hole, because we teed off on 10. And Rick takes his club back, and nobody's near him. There's no fans. Nobody can see him. And he comes up to me, and he says, he had just hit the shot out of the bunker, and he says, I think I might have touched the sand. Is it a penalty? And I wasn't really sure if it was or not. So we asked the other pro in the group, and he goes, I don't think so. Don't worry about it. Just forget it. No penalty. Let's move on. And Rick says, no, I want to get a PGA Tour official over here. So Rick calls up, they bring the official over, and the guy says, well, do you think you might have? And he says, well, I think I might have. He says, well, if you might have, then it's a penalty, or then you probably did. And if you do, it's a two-stroke penalty. So Rick called the penalty on himself. Nobody saw it, nobody felt it, he wasn't even sure, but he called it on himself, and it meant he didn't make the cut. But the integrity that he had to do that, to call that penalty on himself, it doesn't happen in any other sport. And so that's, what he did, the courage, the integrity, the honor, to me is one of the main reasons I love the game.
Hey, it's Pat Kelly from the Golf Guys radio show on ESPN Radio affiliate, coming to you live from the practice putting green at Pebble Beach, sitting in for the beauteous Emmy Moore Minister. And the reason she dragged me in to do this is I'm talking with my dear friend who I've played a lot of Pro-Ams with. And, I just can't be prouder of my association with somebody than last year's Nationwide Tour championship winner, the leading money winner on the Nationwide Tour last year, plus one other victory up in Oregon. Matt, now you're on this tour, and it's got to be fun swinging those sticks for a living.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoying it. Each week's great. You just don't want to take a week off. It's so enjoyable out here. Great weather right now. Hopefully it stays that way. The forecast isn't looking so good, but regardless, you're at Pebble Beach, so you got to have a great time, and it's going to be a lot of fun this week.
And I know that you've made a couple of cuts this year, and I saw you swinging those sticks up on the driving range yesterday, and it looks pretty promising for you at this point. Yeah,
it's a work in progress, just getting comfortable, each week out here playing with some of the big names, but I'm getting better at that, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to go out and play my game and enjoy this week.
This tour event attracts spectators from all over the state. Let's catch up with them now and find out who they're going to be following this week. Well, you've been following this event for many years, Dan.
Yes, it's been probably about 20 years, and I always enjoy coming out, and it's always a lot of fun. And one of the things that I see old friends. That's one of the things that's always interesting. You get to see someone you haven't seen for a whole year.
Now, is there anybody special you'll be following this week?
No, actually, I just kind of look and see who I get to see and what happens. And during the practice rounds, I like to take my camera out, and I've been taking pictures for almost the whole 20 years, and that's a lot of fun.
Now, for those who come out to this event, the camera is only allowed, only for the media, the camera is allowed only during the practice rounds, correct?
Right. If you don't have immediate credentials, it's only practice rounds. So that's the time it's actually more fun sometimes because the celebrities are more relaxed, and if you catch them when there's not many people around, then they're usually more agreeable to take pictures.
Now, over the years, I know you've taken lots of shots. There's got to be a couple that were near and dear to your heart of folks that stand out in your mind.
One of the ones that I really liked must be about 15 years ago with Jack Lemmon and Clint. They went up to the 16th tee, and somebody had an ice chest. So they both were sitting there after walking up that little rise and resting and talking, and that was always one of my favorites.